What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to reveal a strategy that very few marketers actually know about. I had to pay $25,000 to sit down with somebody so that I could learn this strategy. I've been deploying it in my agency for months now, and for our clients for the last few months, probably about a year now. And it's been significant, the impact that it's had to our campaigns and to our clients' campaigns more than anything. So if you're tired of wasting money on ads that don't convert, this video is going to be great for you. I'm going to break down exactly the system that we use, and what I call is the organic propaganda system. Propaganda simply is propagating a thought or idea into somebody's mind. So it's not negative, it's not manipulative, it's just what it is. Now, why organic? Because it feels organic. It actually gets posted on the platform. So it gets posted on social platforms. So it feels organic. It looks organic, which is why it works so well. People don't even know that it's an ad that they're consuming. We can target the exact audience we want to be in front of with an ad, except it's not an ad. Like I said, it feels organic, it seems organic. And then you have the direct response aspect, which is your traditional direct response ads. Now, before we break down exactly how to do this properly, you first have to understand the problem of the market. Traditional marketing. This is the main problem with traditional marketing is most businesses, they're just running ads to cold audiences. These are people who've never heard from you before, and you're asking them to buy. This is why the rejection rate is so high. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you yet. Rejection rates are very common at a 95% plus. That means that if you're running leads or ads right now, you're probably converting 1 to 5% of your leads. Since when did that become an acceptable number? This is one of the many problems in the market is when you only spend on cold audiences, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. So no wonder 95% of the businesses or the leads that opt into your business don't end up converting. Additionally, privacy policy changes, iOS 14.5 and Google eliminating cookies, which means it's harder for you as an advertiser to get good data and to actually target the right audiences. The other factor is the cost. When you're only targeting cold audiences, your costs are way higher. With high ticket offers, you need people to consume content. I was actually at a conference, and this guy, he's got a very large YouTube following. We all went there, and he says, how many of you guys, I want everybody to stand up in this room. How many of you guys bought after seeing one of my videos on YouTube? A handful of people sat down. How many bought after 2 videos on YouTube? A handful more people. And then when he said 3 videos, I sat down, and that was when the majority of people had sat down. So for his offer, it took an average of about 30 to 40 minutes of total consumption of content for him to sell his very high ticket, expensive offer. It's not a very common thing. When you understand that people need to consume so much of your content, you're asking them to buy when they haven't consumed any of it. No wonder only 95% of those people are converting. The reason the cost is so high is because you have to spend. So when you're just trying to sell to these cold audiences, asking them to buy, which is a conversion campaign, you might spend anywhere from 50 cents to I've seen as high as $2.50 per through play, which is one of the metrics on the ad platform that shows how much time they've watched. For these top of funnel content strategies that we're deploying, we're able to get the same for our propaganda strategies on the top of funnel. We're getting through plays for literally a penny to up to 7 pennies. So we're able to get people to consume content much cheaper. This is the problem with traditional marketing is they're only spending on cold audiences. The rejection rate is very high because people don't know, like, and trust them. So only 1 to 5% end up converting. Privacy changes have made it even harder to get in front of the right audiences. And then the costs are very expensive to target those cold audiences. For a through play, remember, 50 cents to $2.50 versus with our strategy, the propaganda strategy, we're getting through plays for a penny to 7 pennies, depending on what step in the funnel they're at. What exactly is this? So aside from this, I wanted to mention that it's posted on social and it does leverage direct response. So where most businesses are focusing all their effort is just up here on this direct response. They're missing the one major element that makes all of this work, which is the organic posting of certain pieces of content. Now, we do boost this on the back with the ads. So the organic content, we call our top of funnel the propaganda. This is going to get people to buy into certain ideas that we need them to have in order to purchase from you. So this is going to be authority content. What's doing the best right now for authority content is podcast content, also UGC content and influencer content. So these are some of the strategies of propaganda that we're going to use. It's going to just get people to buy in. We're not manipulating people. We're just getting them to believe certain things that we need them to believe. And what we do with this is now they've seen your brand. So now they are warmed up. They're a lot more likely to respond positively to your ad. Now, how do we warm these people up? So we have 3 main content groups, we'll call it. Depending on your offer and your market, this will be anywhere from 1 to 5 pieces of content. This will be 1 to 5 pieces of content. And then this will be 1 to 5 pieces of content. With the propaganda authority content, this is what you get. I'm going to break this down in more. Most people, if you look at a funnel here, you have about 3% that's ready to buy at all times. Most people put all their direct response. This is what direct response targets. Goes to the bottom of the funnel. Driving a sale, a lead, a conversion, a schedule. Only 3% of the market's ready to buy at this time. So it can be very expensive. Now, if you're new to market, it can seem great. You might not even understand what I'm talking about yet because maybe people don't have your offer or know your offer yet or try to compete with you on your offer. So it's very cheap in those early adopters. It's called a blue ocean. But in a red ocean, it's very competitive. So the costs skyrocket, they go up. This is why this works so well, because it doesn't matter how competitive the market is. We have this first, we call this group 1, and it's 1 to 5 pieces of strategic content that get people engaged. We're able to do this and we're able to get people to watch this like literally for a penny. Then we have the second group of content. Once people watch this, they then go and now they watch this other group of content, anywhere from 1 to 5 pieces of content. Guess what? We're just asking them to watch. We're not asking them to buy. We haven't even mentioned a buy to them yet or sign up or anything because we're not there yet. They don't know you, like you, or trust you. Stop asking random people from the internet to buy your products without giving them a reason to. So now we take them, they've consumed group 1 of content. Now we move them to group 2. Guess how much group 2 costs? Generally on average about 2 pennies for a through play. Pennies. And you're selling like 5, 10, 15, 20. Our highest ticket offer right now that we're marketing, $25,000 high ticket offer. 2 pennies. We're getting people to watch group 2 of content. Then guess what happens? Now, once they've consumed that, guess what we do again? We move them to the next group number 3. They've now consumed content. Not only have they consumed content getting more familiar with your business, known as the familiarity bias effect. I think of like your first time listening to a song that you heard on the radio, you might have said, I actually don't like this song that much. Then you hear it a couple times. You might be tapping along to it. I kind of like this song. You hear it a few more times. You're like, I actually think this might be my favorite song. The same thing happens. They've now consumed 1 to 5 pieces of your content for a penny. We now get them to start consuming more content, strategic content. Remember, we're just building this propaganda machine. Now, what's talked about here in group 1 is different than what's talked about here. We need them to buy into certain ideas that we didn't mention anything about in group 1. Now they're buying into these ideas. Then we move them to group 3 after they've bought into these ideas from the content that we've consumed. And how do we know? Well, they've watched the content. We can see. We're not even asking them to leave the platform yet. So we know 100% of the data, 100% accurately because Facebook owns it. It's all Facebook data that they give to us. Now, when we move them to bucket number 3, to group number 3, the prices do go up quite a bit, up to about 7 cents. Still very cheap. 7 pennies to get them to watch this group 3. That's the average. It's very, very cheap still compared to your traditional direct response ads. Remember, these conversion ads, which are generally around the 50 cents to $2.50 per through play. So now we've got them to consume this. Now what happens is group 1 is here. So this is what it looks like, group number 1. Then we've got group number 2. And then we've got group number 3 down here. As I said, you need them to watch so much of your content before they convert. On average, for high ticket offers, it takes about 15 to 20 touch points for high ticket. Well, guess what? If you do the math here, we've got these 1 to 5 here, 1 to 5 here, 1 to 5 here, 1 to 5 here, anywhere from 3 to 15 pieces of content we've got them to consume. If you add this up, 1 penny here, 2 pennies here, 7 pennies here. It costs 10 cents. Let's just say on the high end, it actually costs like a dollar, $2 to consume these 15 to 20 pieces of content. Now we've spent $2 to get them to watch the 15 to 20 pieces of content before they've even seen an ad. Now, when we hit them with our direct response ads, which can cost dollars for them to consume, now they're very likely to show up to your call. They're very likely to spend money with you because they know exactly who you are. They trust you. They actually are like, oh, I'm interested in this offer. They want to. They're not baited and switched with some gimmicky offer. It can be a very direct offer. Hey, I help businesses make more money online. If you're interested to make more money online, I can help you too. Now, we don't accept everybody. You would think that that ad would almost do worse than, hey, I guarantee I guarantee you 100 new signups and no money down, guaranteed 100K in revenue, right? You've seen those ads, whatever they are, they're crazy guarantees. They're relying on people, gimmicky tactics, clickbaity tactics to get people to buy in versus by priming the audience with our organic propaganda system. Now we hit those 15 to 20 touch points for dollars. Now, when we get them to convert, something miraculous happens. People show up, they buy more, they spend more money because they already know you, they like you, and they trust you. So what happens is you get lower acquisition costs, higher conversion rates, increased LTV, happier sales reps. Your reps will notice a significant difference and better brand trust. Now, I would love for you to apply to work with me. I can either help you set this up. I can do consulting. We actually do build and release models too. So if you're an agency owner, business owner, doesn't matter what you are, if you're consuming this content, I encourage you, reach out to me. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm a lot more active on there. You can message me. I do handle all the messages there. It is myself. And please subscribe and like. And my goal this year is to help 10 businesses hit $1 million per month run rate. Last year, I helped 4 businesses. So if you want to hit your first $1 million month, if you have a proven offer, apply to work with me. I am looking for highly competitive, highly results-driven entrepreneurs like myself that like to win, that leave it all on the table. If that's you, apply to work with me. If that's not you, I'll gladly consult on your business as long as you show up and do certain things too, and you're not just a complete degenerate who wastes everybody's time.